Good day, everyone. So I'm Miss Analiza Emponilas from the Division of Valenzuela. I chose the topic of air pollution as one of the environmental issues po. So what is air pollution? So the term air pollution has a Latin word, graviori seri, means uh, the heaven is heavy. Okay. So what is air pollution? So if we define it, it means it refers to the release of pollutants into the air which are detrimental to human health and the planet as a whole. So not only the humans are affected by this kind of environmental issue, but also the other living things and the surroundings as well. According to the World Health Organization, each year air pollution is responsible for nearly 7 million deaths around the globe. So according to CART.org, there are two types of air pollution. So all types of air pollution can be divided into two basic types. So we have primary air pollutants and the secondary air pollutants, or the primary air pollution and the secondary air pollution. Now, when we say primary air pollutants, these are emitted directly to the atmosphere. So for example, we have the carbon dioxide emitted by cars and light-duty trucks. When we also have, uh, for example, we have smoke from the factories that are directly going to the atmosphere or to the air. That is an example, or those are the examples of primary air pollutants. When we talk about secondary air pollutants, these are formed within the atmosphere by chemical reactions involving precursors that are emitted into the atmosphere. So ozone is a primary component of smog when formed by sunlight-driven reactions involving volatile organic compounds or VOCs and nitrogen oxide precursors. So when we talk about secondary air pollutants, uh, these pollutants may form when there are chemical reactions within the atmosphere. Po. So the example is the ozone. So these are some of the or mostly the air pollutants that contributes the pollution. So we have the PM 2.5. When we say PM, that means particulate matter. Okay. We have the PM 10. Okay. So the number of this particulate matter uh, denotes the size of that specific material po. No? So aside from particulate matter or PM 2.5 and PM 10, we have the carbon monoxide, usually emitted by the cars and other vehicles. We have the ozone, nitrogen dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. Okay, so these are the major health damaging air pollutants according to the World Health Organization. So again, PM means particulate matter, which is a mixture of solid and liquid particles in the air that are small enough to settle out onto the Earth's surface under the influence of gravity. Okay? So what causes air pollution? So these are the contributors of having air pollutants, or we can say the air pollution contributors. Okay? So we have the energy and production. Okay? When there is burning of fossil fuels, of course, when there is burning, there is the production of smoke. Okay? So again, energy production is comprises of the burning of fossil fuels and production through industrial works and factories. And then we have the transportation, of course, due to the emission of smoke coming from the vehicles. Okay? So aside from transportation and energy and production, we have also the indoor and or household, which is one of the contributors of air pollution, as coal being used in cooking, and even using tobacco or having tobacco smoking. Okay? And agriculture is also the another air pollution contributor. Okay? So these micro efforts, although we can say that in a micro effort or small effort that we contribute will affect to or will result to the macro effects like diseases and others. So, meaning if we accumulate these causes of this air pollution, it may have a bigger effect on our world. So the air has reached a high level of pollution and is unhealthy, unhealthy for sensitive groups. Okay. So what are the effects of air pollution? So according to the World Health Organization, 9 out of 10 people currently breathe air that exceeds the World Health Organization's guideline limits for pollutants. So, meaning, yung pinaka-standard or yung pinaka-dapat yung guideline na hanggang doon lang dapat yung amount of pollutants in the air ay naging beyond na yung status ngayon, no? So, parang medyo kung nanganganib na noon, mas mapanganib na ngayon, no? So, meaning the quality of the air that we breathe nowadays is actually not good for our health due to some pollutant contributors. So the combined effect of the ambient, outdoor, and household air pollution causes 7 million premature deaths every year. So air pollution poses major threat to health and climate. So, so these premature deaths includes reduces of lung growth and function, respiratory infections, and aggravated asthma for children. And aside from these premature deaths, another effect of air pollution to health is the larger result to diseases such as heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, lung cancer, and acute respiratory infections. Infections, rather. So, is there a relationship between air pollution and the one that is happening today or the pandemic that we have today, which is the COVID-19 pandemic? Okay. So, the answer is ayan. Several factors link PM or particulate matter 2.5 pollution to increase COVID-19 vulnerability. So it means the air pollution may also contribute to the damage or the harm from COVID-19. So these are increase in incidence of comorbidities, weaken the lungs, and autoimmune responses because the air that we breathe is uh, polluted. That is why it also weakens our respiratory system and increase virus susceptibility and increase virus transmission. So links between this 2.5 or PM 2.5 and COVID-19. Okay, so there is a relationship between the two. Globally, an early study estimated the proportion of deaths from COVID-19 attributable to long-term air pollution exposure from anthropogenic emissions to be between 7 and 33% of deaths. These deaths may have been prevented by reducing human-made pollution. So meaning, air pollution can contribute to the harm of COVID-19. So data trends. So according to the report from World Air Quality, okay, 2020. So as in previous years, South and East Asian location emerged as the most polluted globally. Countries like these countries from the South and East Asia include Bangladesh, China, India, and Pakistan. Share 49 out of 50 of the most polluted cities worldwide. The COVID-19 pandemic emerged as a major exceptional factor in influencing air quality during 2020. The main reason would be the temporary reduction of the fossil fuel consumption caused by lockdowns around the world, correlated with significant decreases in air population. So meaning, because of the lockdowns during the pandemic, so there is reduced amount of burning fossil fuels because yun nga po sa mga napasara, yung mga medyo nahinto mo ng production, Okay? So, medyo nahinto rin, medyo nabawasan din ang production or burning of fossil fuels. So, medyo na-reduced yung air pollutions. 2020 saw remarkable 65% of global cities experienced air quality improvements from 2019, while 84% of countries saw improvements overall. So, nagkaroon ng improvement, no? That is because of the lockdown. So, next. Unfortunately, 2020 also witnessed several extreme air pollution events in the form of wildfires and dust storms linked to global temperatures as part of the climate change as well as agricultural practices. So these wildfires ravage in United States, Australia, Siberia, and South Africa, while Indonesia and other parts of the Africa rather experienced devastating agricultural fires. So can we remove the air pollution easily? The answer is pollutants in the air are mostly present man-made and naturally. So for me, uh, based on the observations or based on the learnings that I had as I made this PowerPoint, most probably the answer is no. Hindi siya madaling alisin. Kasi, dun pa lang po sa energy production, para magkaroon tayo ng electricities and some of the energies. Kasi mostly, di ba, fossil fuels ang ating, burning of fossil fuels ang ginagamit to provide energy. So, dun pa lang sa, which is one of the main or necessary, o yung mga necessities needed natin, meron na agad air pollution, it contributes air pollution. So, medyo parang hindi ganun kadaling alisin, no? Maaring bawasan for some yung mga madali namang alisin na man-made causes of the air pollution like yung tobacco smoking, maaring unti-untiin. Okay? And yung burning of dried leaves or yung some of the small efforts po. Pwede. Pero yung when we talk about yung removing the entire air pollution is napakahirap, no? Kasi kahit nga naturally, nangyayari yan. Nangyayari po yung air pollution or yung natural causes o yung mga natural processes that happens sa ating mundo ay nagko-contribute din ng air pollution. Just like ashfall and volcanic eruption, no? So, naturally made yun, no? Nangyayari siya naturally. So, parang nagko-contribute din kasi siya sa air pollution. Pero hindi naman all the time na nagkakaroon ng mga ganyang klaseng natural events. Siguro sa man-made, pwede natin unti-untiin, but not easily siya mare-remove. So, what are the sources of PM or particulate matter and particulate matter precursors? So, we have the mobile sources. Ayan. So, when we say mobile sources, these are the vehicles, okay, emitted smokes. And then, the stationary sources, pag sinabi nating stationary, yung nandun lang, okay, sa isang place like power plants and factories. We have the area sources, dry cleaners, gas stations, and the natural sources, which is yun nga, yung volcanic eruptions, forest fires, okay. So, again, hindi natin maiiwasan ng air pollution. Siguro maaari nating unti-unting bawasan, pero hindi talaga siya yung mawawala easily because of these sources. So, we need to reduce the air pollution emissions. So, hindi siya matatanggal absolutely, but we can reduce. Okay? Although nagkakaroon tayo ng mga problems when it comes to air pollution, meron naman po tayong guidelines and policies or government policies na involve to just maintain, not totally maintain, but to monitor rather, monitor the air quality. Okay, so we have the air quality monitoring and government policies. So we have the air quality data. So air quality data is essential to quantify and understand quality trends like this in our fast-changing world. The increase in short-term, fast-evolving air pollution emergencies, such as those caused by wildfires, has only decreased the importance of access to real-time air quality data, to which only part of the world has access. So although we have different air quality monitoring, hindi po, not all countries have this kind of monitoring system, no? So, there are countries pa rin na deprived pagdating sa ganyang technologies. That's why, hindi, or not totally all, the entire world monitor the air quality, no? So, the air quality report includes the data for 106 countries, up from 98 countries in 2019 and 69 countries in 2018. Ayan. So, however, air quality awareness remains low in areas where real-time monitoring is sparse but pollution levels may be high. So, ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon pa rin ng discrepancy when it comes to the report in air quality monitoring. Yun nga po, that is because of the lack of yung, pwede natin sabihin na technology, and not all the countries are equipped in measuring their air quality. So, that is also one of the problems when it comes to air pollution. So, may mga countries po na hindi ganong savvy doon sa air quality monitoring, but ano po, hindi natin mapapansin na high pala yung kanilang air pollution. So, this is the air quality, or AQI, air quality index used by the US. So, they have the good, moderate, unhealthy, unhealthy for sensitive groups, unhealthy, very unhealthy, and hazardous. Okay. So, this PM 2.5 or particulate matter 2.5, that is their basis. Kumbaga, doon sila nag-base kasi yun yung pinakamaliit, no, na matter. Mas maliit po kasi siya sa human hair. So, the size is 2.5 microgram per cubic meter. So, sobrang liit talaga niya. Okay? Yeah. So, for the world country or region ranking, as I've said a while ago, that Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India are the countries that has most number of, or most amount, or great amount of the particulate matter 2.5 concentration. Ibig sabihin, sila ay medyo talagang polluted area when it comes to air. And sa Philippines po, based on this data, 2020 World Air Monitoring data, we are on the 70th. Medyo kalagitnaan po, no? Okay. So, having this air quality monitoring, so, syempre, when they have the data, they have also the possible solutions, no? What they think based on the World Health Organization and World Air Monitoring. Okay. So, what they think are the possible steps or possible solutions that they can, or the countries may or should do, no, in order to reduce the air pollution. So, what governments do? This is based on the 2020 World Air Monitoring. So, reduce air pollution emissions. So, these are some of the examples. They need to phase out the coal, gas, and oil-based energy as well as the incinerator facilities. Expand clean energy and including the role of renewables like wind and solar. So, they advise to parang kumbaga hindi na ganang gamitin ang fossil fuels or burning of fossil fuels as energy production. Instead, they should use renewable sources of energy like wind, so solar. In the Philippines, we can use geothermal. Okay? And transition government-funded transportation to cleaner energy. Okay? So, syempre, magkakaroon dapat ng more on, government-funded transportation. Kaya nga po, di ba dito sa Philippines, parang nagaano na po ng Egypt, no? Yung mga solar jeep, parang nagkakaroon na po ng mga ganyang klaseng transportation. Introduce comprehensive and affordable public transport as well as safe walking and cycling infrastructures within the cities. Okay? Kasi aside from the reduction of air pollution, syempre magkakaroon din ng increase in cardiovascular health when we are walking and using the bicycles as a mode of transportation. Kaya nga po sa Japan, no, they are more encouraged to use bikes and walking rather than commuting on some transportations. Okay. So, implement increasingly stringent emission limits. So, there should be a limit for every emission with the goal of phasing out fuels. Katulad na sinabi ko po kanina. Require the application of new technologies for improving health efficiency and reducing emissions. Develop detailed and urgent strategies for the improvement of air quality which are backed up in law. Okay? So, next is expand government air quality monitoring. Okay? So, installing public monitoring stations and provide funding transport to operate by non-governmental organizations to increase the access to real-time air quality information. So, usually in the Philippines, each cities meron pong mga installed na optic-based na technologies. Pag sinabi natin optic-based, yung they use light, okay, to monitor the particulate matter present in the air. So, doon pa lang na ma-measure na nila kung gaano karami yung yung particulate matter present. And tighten air quality limits to meet World Health Organization recommendations for not only 2.5 but also other toxic emissions. So, another advice would be not only the particulate matter 2.5 would be measured, but also the other air pollutants that contributes air pollution. Ayan. What I can do, or what can I do? Produce your pollution exposure. So, limit outdoor activities and wear a pollution mask during pollution events. So, this is to, reduce the health risk in air pollution. So, using a face mask and limit outdoor activities. Follow real-time and forecast air quality information to stay prepared for pollution episodes. So, mainam din po na we are also informed ourselves in about the air quality report. No? Lower pollution emissions, personal choices can help the reduce pollution emissions and improve air quality. Simple and effective means for contributing to a healthier environment. So these are some of the possible solutions that we can do to ourselves. No, simple or effective means to reduce pollution emissions. One is choose cleaner modes of transportation instead of uh, using tricycles or commuting. Okay? You can walk. Okay? Lalo na pag malapit lang yung pupuntahan and use bicycle. No? Okay? So, mas mainam po no, kung talagang magamit na yung mga e-jeep, solar jeep, and yun po. Reducing personal energy consumption and waste. Yun, kahit yung pagtitipid natin sa kuryente is one possible means din po no in reducing air pollution kasi nga pag kailangan natin or pag gumagamit tayo ng so much energy, so syempre kailangan mag-produce ng maraming energy. That's why saving energy kahit sa bahay can also reduce air pollution. Helping to raise local air pollution awareness. So, yun nga po, kailangan maging aware tayo about the air quality ng ating country. Supporting local and national air quality initiatives. So, basically example dito is yung kahit sa LTO, no, pag nagkakaroon ng registration or renewal of the registration ng ng vehicles, 'di ba? Meron silang emission test. So, dapat doon sa mga ganong klaseng policies in the government like yung emission test, sumusunod tayo kasi syempre malalaman natin kung yung smoke na ini-emit ng vehicle natin ay healthy pa ba or ano pa ba, no, masyado na bang dark. No? Ayan. So, in the Philippines, we have meron po tayong isang part or sector sa Department of Environment and Natural Resources, which is the EMB, or the Environmental Management Bureau. So they have this part or the section which is the air quality management section. They are responsible or they are tasked to monitor, okay, and report and to have the data about the current no, current air quality of in the Philippines. Okay? So, ayan. So, nakita ko lang po ito sa kanilang ano no website no. And they are not only saying that vehicle are the primary or vehicles or the transportation are the mostly contributors of the air pollution. Nailagay na rin po nila household air pollution. Ayan. So, that's the end of my presentation about the air pollution. I hope that learned uh, you learned something about my topic. And good day and God bless everyone. Stay safe.